Hey, hey. Very often I ask people, what do you want? And inevitably, the answer I get at first is, well, I would love to, but realistically, I could do this. Okay. So I'd love to lose, 40 pounds, but realistically, I could only lose 20. So my question is, what do you want? What do you want? When I ask you that question, what do you hear? Do you hear, what do you want? Or do you hear, what do you think is possible? Those are two separate questions. What do you want? And what do you think is possible? Two separate questions. There is this crazy idea that is held by most people, including myself until very recently, that you have to believe it to be successful. To achieve a goal, you must believe you can. People will tell you, if you believe it, you can do it. And if you don't believe it, you can't do it. I'm here to tell you that that is not true. That is a flat out lie. And the reason I know that is because I've accomplished things I never believed I could. I never believed that I could survive. I didn't understand how people who had babies would actually like be up with their babies all night and then go to work. And then God provided me with two babies. I never believed that I could survive without sleep. And yet here I am. I survived a whole year of no sleep, essentially. Did it do me some harm? Yeah, it did, but I survived. Okay. I never believed that I could work full time, go to school full time, and work part time when I earned a scholarship for my graduate program in nursing. And yet I did. I didn't believe I could until I did. And this is why you don't need to believe that you can do it, because the truth is that you don't know if you can do it until you actually do it. So instead of putting a condition on your ability to do something, instead of putting a condition on your ability to even try something, on whether you believe you can or not, I'm going to invite you to throw that idea out. You do not need to believe you can accomplish something to actually do it. All you need to do is to decide you want it. That's it. So give yourself permission to want it instead of limiting what you want by what you believe you can achieve. You don't need to believe it. All you have to do is take the next step. There's that saying that you don't have to see the full staircase before you take the first step. Well, you don't even need to see the full staircase before you take the next step. Okay. And so today I want to ask you, what do you want in your physical health, in your mental health, in your financial health? If we were to travel 3 years into the future, what would show you that you have become what you want to become? What would that look like? And I want to challenge you to ask yourself that question, not the question, what do you believe you can? Okay, I'm asking you, what do you want? If you knew you couldn't fail, if failure wasn't an option, what do you want? And I want to assure you that you don't have to believe you can have it to actually have it. I cannot wait to hear what it is that you want, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to believe for you when you don't believe. This is part of the beauty of our partnership, is that you don't have to believe it to do it. Let me believe for you. Let me believe for you, because I've seen so many things that I never believed could happen. I had professionals tell me, you could never have babies, Donnie. I had health professionals, people that with a serious degrees and all this, and they told me, you can't have babies, Donnie. And here I stand before you, letting you know that I birthed out of my own body two human beings. Okay. And so if that is possible, I guarantee you that if you can see it behind your mind's eye, you can have it, whether you believe it or not. Understand, you won't believe it until you do it. So do it so you can believe it. And if you don't believe it and you need a little dose of belief, then please let me know what it is that you want. I did want to let you know about some changes that are coming up. We are going to be making more efficient use of our time. We know that you are busy. We know that you're busy. And that's one of the reasons why we have transitioned to the community coaching model, because you can pick and choose what time works best for your schedule to plug into community. You can pick and choose what time works best for your schedule to feed your mind the habits of health, right? You can pick and choose what time works best for you for us to be checking in via Messenger. And one of the things that we're going to do to make your time more efficient, is you're going to be able to pick and choose what time to get your habits of health in. We're no longer going to be having the habits of health calls on Wednesday nights as a structured time. All of that content, all of that beautiful information is available to you via YouTube or via podcast at any time, anytime. And I would love to hear from you. What is it that you have learned most recently as you were going through your habits of health system? I just shared with you one of the things that I just caught, right? About how the whole idea that you have to believe to be successful, that's a form of self-manipulation. If you turn to, I believe it's page 111 of Dr. A's book, that's what he talks about. He says, let's see here, he says, there are plenty of people who talk about self-efficacy as if it's about your attitude, believing in yourself, building self-esteem, and believing you can do it. I regard that as a form of harmful self-manipulation. The truth is, you don't know if you can do it until you actually do it. And that's why we're focusing on what you want to create and then help you do it. So we will no longer be having the habits of health calls on Wednesday evenings at 8:30 Eastern. They will be available to you via YouTube or podcast, and I will be sending some to you. And I would love to hear what it is that you are learning. I would also love to hear what day you're planning to plug into the community coaching call this week, because I am here to believe for you until you do it. Okay. And if you find yourself struggling with the doing, struggling with the action, struggling with the results, it is time for us to reconnect so that we can clear away the cobwebs, identify these belief systems that may be holding you back, and set you free. So with that, have a good one. I look forward to hearing about your week.